Particle of mass 4 kilograms, held at rest at the point A on a rough plane, inclined at 30 degrees to the horizontal. B lies on the line of greatest slope for the plane and passes through A. That's as standard. The point B is 5 meters down, as shown. The coefficient of friction between the plane and P is 0.3. The particle is released from rest and A slides down the plane. Okay, let's mark these things on the diagram. First of all, the particle A has a mass of 4 kilograms, so that needs to be resolved into components parallel and perpendicular to the slope. So I'm going to draw the perpendicular line and the parallel line, the directions, and if this is 30, then this is 30 here. So that means that this side is 4g cos 30, and this side here is 4g sine 30. There's a reaction force here. Okay, and as the plane is rough and the object is on the point of sliding down the plane, then friction will act up the plane. Now mu is equal to 0.3. I'll mark that here. And as it's on the point of sliding down the plane, that means friction is limiting, so we can use F equals mu r. So I've used everything in the question. Find the speed of P at the instant it reaches B. So if we've got to find the final velocity here, we know the initial velocity is 0, the distance is 5, and we can find acceleration by using F equals ma parallel to the slope. That means we need to find friction. Well, friction is mu times reaction, so we'll need to find reaction, and we can do that because it's equal and opposite to 4g cos 30. So perpendicular to the slope, r equals 4g cos 30. And then I can use F equals mu r, so friction is equal to 0.3 multiplied by 4g cos 30, and then I'm going to resolve parallel to the slope. So down the slope I have 4g sine 30, and now there is acceleration, so we have to put all of the forces, the resultant force on this side, so minus friction going in the opposite direction. I'll multiply that out, so that's 1.2 g cos 30 equals mass 4 times acceleration, and so that means that acceleration is equal to, and I'll just factorise out the g, so there's less writing, 4 sine 30 minus 1.2 cos 30 multiplied by g over 4. And when I put that into the calculator, I get 2.35. So now I've found the acceleration, I need to use that to find the final velocity. So, okay, the distance travelled is 5, as on the diagram. Initial velocity is 0 because it's released from rest. Final velocity we're trying to find, and acceleration we've just found, 2.35. So I'm going to use v squared equals u squared plus 2as. So v squared equals 0 plus 2as, and if you've still got that 2.35 unrounded in your calculator, use that so that you don't lose any accuracy. And then I get 4.85 meters per second for that. So part B, the particle is now returned to A and held in equilibrium by a horizontal force of magnitude h newtons. The line of action of the force lies in the vertical plane as usual. The particle is on the point of moving up the plane, so that's important. So now I'm going to mark friction on down the plane. I'm going to mark the weight force, and the weight force hasn't changed from part A. So we have, if this is 4G, we have 4G sine 30 and 4G cos 30. It's always a good idea to mark the directions on. There's a reaction force, and the reaction force has changed. And I'll show you why. I'm going to just extend this line for H here, and then I'm going to resolve this into components, perpendicular and parallel to the slope. So because this angle here is corresponding to this one here, and you can do it by 60, 30, 60, 30, we know that if this angle is 30, then this side is H cos 30, and that side here is H sine 30, and as this is pushing this way, it's pushing up the slope and down into the slope. So now you can see that reaction will change because there's an extra force pushing downwards that will increase the reaction force, and because reaction and friction are related through F equals mu r, the friction force changes and it's also going in the other direction. So now what do I have to do? Find the value of H. I don't know H, I don't know R, and I don't know F. But thankfully, because it is on the point of moving, friction is limiting, and again I can use F equals mu r. So I'm going to do the same process that I did before. First of all, resolve perpendicular to the slope to find R. This time, R is not equal and opposite to this because there's an extra force. So 4G cos 30 and H sine 30. So F equals mu r, and mu is still 0.3, and then R is 4G cos 30 plus H sine 30. And now I'm going to resolve parallel to the slope. So going up the slope, I have H cos 30. Going down, I have friction and the weight component. So H cos 30 up the slope is equal to, because this is being held in equilibrium, 4G sine 30 plus friction, which is this. Now I'm going to just multiply this out. So 1.2 cos 30, 1.2G cos 30 plus 0.3 H sine 30. And now just by rearranging both of the H terms on the same side, 0.3 sine 30 minus equals, and if I just factorise out the G for ease, 4 sine 30 plus 1.2 cos 30 G, and then divide both sides by this to get an equation ready to put into the calculator. So 4 sine 30 plus 1.2 cos 30 G all over cos 30 minus 0.3 sine 30. And that, once it goes into the calculator, gives us 41.6 newtons. Marks wise, there's an understanding mark for resolving perpendicular to the slope. So if you've clearly tried to resolve, if you're using f equals 0.3 times r, you don't even need to substitute to get that understanding mark there. And then a method mark for resolving parallel to the slope. You can have sine and cos confused, and you can have positives and negatives confused there, but as long as all the terms are included, and an accuracy mark for all terms correct. Then a method mark for rearranging in terms of A, and an accuracy mark for 2.35 can be to two significant figures that. Then there's a method mark, depending on the fact that you found a value for A, you can have a method mark for using that in a SUVAT equation. So it doesn't have to be this, but this is the quickest one. And then 4.85 gives you an accuracy mark. For part 2, there's a method mark and an accuracy mark for resolving perpendicular to the slope for the same reasons as before. Sine and cos can be confused, and positives and negatives for the method mark, but the accuracy mark needs everything to be correct. All terms need to be included regardless. And then a method mark for using f equals mu r, even if it's just r there. Then there's a method mark and an accuracy mark again for, I've gone off the screen slightly there, another method mark and an accuracy mark for the same reasons as before, all terms included. Then a dependent method mark for rearranging in terms of h, and that's dependent on already achieving these method marks, and an accuracy mark for 41.6.